Chef, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you today?
Good, good. Thank you for jumping on Como. We're highlighting dope stories, and I came
Hmm.
across your food, and I was like, okay, I'm always looking for things that are traditional yet elevated. I don't want to say elevated, traditional, but in a different perspective, right? Because I
Right,
want to respect tradition, but
right.
I like the progression of our culture. So
Yeah,
talk to us a
definitely.
little bit about your story.
Okay, so my name is Rosario, as you may know, as of now. I started my business, I want to say back in May of 2020. Um, Funny
Recently,
story with this one. Yeah, of 2020 during actually because of COVID, I started this business,
that's what
you
I'm
know?
talking about.
Yeah, so I'm from San Mateo, California. Whoop, whoop.
The Bay,
And
the Bay, the Bay.
Bay Area. And so, I have a small family here. It's just myself, two of my siblings, my parents. I come from a household where everything's very pretty much traditional. So, I mean, I grew up seeing my mom cook, my dad get down. Um, it's so crazy. I've always been a big foodie, but never saw myself as one to make or please other people with my food. So as time went by, I always questioned myself. I would look at my mom cook. I said, you know what? I need to start learning how to get down like that. Like I'm hitting almost mid 30s, and I need to really learn how to get down in this kitchen.
What were you doing prior? What were you doing prior?
Prior to this, and actually I still am. I'm working for this company called Spaces. So basically, I was just working your typical 9 to 5. I had a straight agenda, which is 9 to 5, get off, go to the gym. By the time I came home, 8, go to sleep. That was literally my routine every day. Then the pandemic hit, and obviously I was out of work for a good, I want to say, 3 months, and that's before the whole EDD and all that was going on. So I had no income. I was running low on like my last funds. So I sat here and I came out with this crazy concept of corn on the cob, elotes.
Well, hold on. Before we
Yeah,
get into that, I think it's important that I acknowledge the fact that people, when they want to do what they want to do, they can do it like you did. You found a way. You had your nine to
yeah,
five, but you were passionate, or something clicked. And I think that this
yeah,
pandemic kind of reduced it, condensed it to say, let me recalibrate myself,
yeah,
because as much as bad that 2020 has taken away from people, a lot of good can come out of it. And I want our viewers to understand that it's never too late. If anything, it's whack if you don't think about it, right?
Exactly.
So
I think the whole pandemic, like you said, as much as it was a lot, it's really, really hard, especially being a transition for us as people, going from no mask to a mask every day and not touching each other, all that. Um, I think that's what I think the what I think prior to that everything was there already, but because I was so focused on a routine, I didn't allow myself to let my creativity out. So the minute that everything shut down, and I don't want to say I got desperate, because I wasn't desperate either. You spend so much in a household trying to protect yourself from whatever they're trying to figure out what's out there. You start searching, you really getting creative. Your head, you start having so much time to yourself to really
well,
realize.
let's not. So
Yeah,
hold on. So yes, you are right, because we want people to start thinking that in this
yeah,
moment of challenge and chaos comes clarity. And
yes,
did you force yourself to say, hold up a second? What gave you the strength to say, let me think about life and what I want to do
yeah,
next? Because it's a big leap of faith, and I don't want to underestimate.
yeah,
I don't want to. I want people to watch this and say, I could do it too.
yeah. So honestly, what really did it for me was starting to see how comfortable I was working for someone else and being okay with me working for their dreams rather than mine.
It was called
And
complacence. You got complacent.
yeah, and I sat here and I realized, and I said, is this really my life? Am I gonna just do this for the rest of my life and retire at a certain age and work off a pension and that's it? Like, what am I leaving behind for my future kids,
No
for my
doubt.
generation,
Okay,
Yeah.
so then you say, I'm going to take a jab at this, and you decided
Hmm.
what? You decided to say, I want to start because you were a foodie that you love to eat, but were you a cook?
Yeah. No, not at all.
So what
At
made
all.
you say? What made you say, I love corn on the cob, and I'm going to try to make a business out of this?
Honestly, is watching all the hustlers outside my street selling corn and mangoes.
That's
I used to see them. Those are the real hustlers. I used to see them outside in all the corners while this pandemic was happening, in the cold and the rain. And I said, okay, if they're out here hustling, why am I sitting in my household waiting for an EDD to hit, or me not using my brain
yeah.
to try to be creative and make an income and be
Hold on.
passionate about it?
I'm gonna cut you
Yeah.
off a little bit because I will say this. I love that mentality that you reflecting when a lot of people can be more productive by
Hmm.
doing nothing by just
Yeah.
looking, right? Because
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna go a little political here.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I laugh when people say these immigrants are coming over here taking our jobs.
Yeah.
If you are going to say that some person popped over this country, got enough money to buy something to start a business, and you're still unemployed, who's the fucking dumbass? Right?
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
think that we have
Period.
to, yeah.
Period.
So sorry to
Periodo.
cut you off, but you made me think about that. But so now
No,
you're
that's
saying, I'm
sad.
seeing these hustlers. I'm
Yeah.
going to do it. I've never been a cook. Why did you go? Let's talk about what made you go corn on the cob?
Okay, well, this is the funny part. Because I'm such a foodie, I was always looking for an elote man. And I used to live in a neighborhood where the elote man always used to come around. I stopped seeing them as often, and I would only see him maybe once every 2 weeks. So I don't know what it was, but one day, I swear, one day I really just sat here and I was like, well, why do I have to wait for him to come around? I could just go by and make my own and see if it'll come out. I'm sure it's easy. So
That's how most people get into cooking. I love how you're making it so simple. Not an execution, but the inspiration came from
yeah,
like, yo, I can make it better. I like it. I can make it more often. Then you develop
yeah,
a passion for it, right?
yeah, and I did. And it's so funny because I started really with your simple, the classic, just the corn on the cob, just cotija cheese, mayo, tahine, and tapatio. Okay, so I started off as that. But then I really sat there and I was like, well, shit. If they're eating it I'm pretty sure I can add even more things to it. Like I'm sure I could do something crazy with this. And so I did a little research. I started seeing like what flavors would work, what wouldn't. And next thing you know, I have like 6 different flavors on my menu. And and I went based off for my drinks, micheladas. So I love micheladas and I love corn on the cob. So that really just came from me just being in love with those two food items, honestly. That's really what happened.
No, no, no. I'm with you on that. And so,
Yeah,
so right now, are you taking orders and you deliver, or do they pick up?
I do both. I do delivery and curbside pickup here. Hmm.
And is it sold? So how do you do it? You make it, and do people reheat it? Give me a little bit of the process.
No, no. So yes, so I like my corn. I honestly don't recommend unless it's for your own. If that's how you like it, that's okay. But I like to give my food fresh.
Got it.
So
So
within,
so it's like having a pop up restaurant.
yeah, pop up basically, but not so much of a pop up because people still have to pre-order with me just so I have an estimate of how much for that day I have to get prepared
No,
because I
no,
wanted
no.
to do
I know
that
what
fresh.
you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's several ways of pop up. Pop up is going to a restaurant hoping people walk in. There's
Yeah, yeah.
there's the other type of pop up where it's prefixed, so you have the orders prior, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
I used to do those kind of pop ups because I wanted to know.
Oh,
I'm from a business point. I was like, no, I'm not going to wait for people to come in. I'm going to sell tickets prior, 24 hours. I'll know what to go buy.
exactly.
Maximize my profit. Okay, so
Exactly.
what I mean by pop up is like people wake up that morning and say, you know what, I want to have this for either dinner or for lunch,
Hmm.
and they make a okay. So then, um, let's talk about your marketing.
Yeah.
Right? How did you start? What was your first step?
Oh, wow. Damn. My first step was actually just making an Instagram page. I made it first and then I had one day where I sat here and I practiced all my cooking, like all my different flavors of corn to see how they would come out, if it would taste good. I had my family come and try it and tell me how if they thought it was good. So I had the page ready. I had feedback about it. The first time wasn't so good. So okay, I was like, I'm not ready to really put this out. Second day, I did it again, came out better. And my family members and my friends, I came by and I gave some to them, and they were like, "Okay, you might be going somewhere with this," And that little bit of feedback is really what just kind of took me to, you know what? I think I may have something here, and
It's
especially,
actually,
and
it's
then
actually, it's good that you
hmm
said the first time didn't go so good because
hmm
I always say you have to fail in the beginning early.
yeah.
Just because if you would reach success and you hadn't failed the first time you deal with failure, it's going to be that much harder to overcome.
Yeah, yeah, my elote was horrible, especially the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one.
yeah. So
It was
are you
horrible.
selling them? Are you selling them on the cob, or you also have the option of taking them off?
Um, Sorry. Yeah, so no, no. So I have three types of corn that I do. I do corn on the cob. I also do corn on a cup and mini corns. So they're like little mini fun size for like a lot of events. A lot of people order those for more for like parties
Yeah.
and like for the kids or like for fun stuff that they have going on, little gatherings. I do have five different flavors as well that I've really perfected it to this point. I want to say I've started this business, I want to say maybe 9 months ago, and
Yeah.
I'm definitely proud of how like far my elote has like progressed in 8 months.
You
I'm
know,
gonna tell you that much.
did you ever young grow up thinking that when yeah, at some point you'd be like, I'm really proud of my elote.
No, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. That's the
Yeah.
that here I am young, right? Thinking that I'm gonna be, I don't know, a teacher, a lawyer, this and that, right? How anybody would think. Then I'm here, I'm 29, and I'm like, yo, I really started a business off being inspired off the elote man outside the street of
And
my house
during the worst uh
during the worst time
crisis
of our lives.
of our
Yes.
lives, right? We're
Yeah.
all gonna remember 2020
Oh,
like that. So
and everywhere.
go over your five flavors that you have for our viewers.
So yes, so my five flavors for the elotes is el caliente, which is either flaming hot Cheetos or the flaming Doritos. Pick or choose whatever one they dare to eat, with some Parmesan. Then I have el caliente, which is I'm sorry, el deep fried, which is the deep fried corn. That's one of my most popular ones. I use a buttermilk batter, but the real secret is in my seasoning.
Yeah, don't tell.
So
You see, I don't want
yeah,
anyone.
so it won't be a
If
secret.
anyone
It won't
ever
be a
asks you
secret.
for the recipe, you know what you say? I forgot.
No, I just say if I tell you, you won't be my customer anymore.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
that's one of my most popular ones, the deep fried corn on the cob. I mean that's actually one of my favorites as well. I have that with this little secret sauce that I made on the side as well. So you can dip it. It's dipped in Parmesan as well. And then I have uh, which I'm sorry, my baked Parmesan, that one as well. That one is I believe is truffle butter, um, Parmesan, and a little bit of parsley, and then I bake it. So I
Mm,
bake the corn.
yeah.
So you get that, it's pretty good too. That's pretty popular. And then I have my Doritos Locos. So that one is just your regular either Cool Ranch, or the Dorito cheese corn on the cob. Yeah.
What
So
was
so far, yeah, yeah.
when was your aha moment when you launched this? Because you've been in it 9 months. What was your aha moment saying, okay, I could turn this into a business?
My haha moment was probably when I made my first when someone actually DM'd me and said, "Can I purchase this?" And I said, "Oh, they really want to buy my corn on a cob?" Like I was like, "Okay." And at first I was very like, "Are you sure?" Okay, and because I was so nervous and I was so like not I didn't think I was that great or ready. I also like gave it at such a like cheap price, and I even kind of gave away a little more. That first time is always like my first customer. I was like, okay, this person's for reals. I hope I don't mess up. I like the whole morning, I had like anxiety. I was like, oh my God, what if I burn it? What if they don't like it? What if this is a joke? They're gonna laugh at me. But you know what? The people that were around me at that time, all they said to me was just go all in. Let's see where it goes. You don't even know. Just try it because you're just gonna end up regretting it if
Mhm.
you don't do it. You know, you don't
Yeah,
want to
no
sit.
doubt. So that was
Yeah,
your aha moment. I think that the moment us cooks, I call ourselves cooks, or at least me, because I didn't go to
yeah,
culinary school.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. We're
it
cooks.
doesn't really matter because in the industry of food porn and mom and pops and pop ups, it's not always that you have to get a degree. It's if the customer's willing to pay.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
Yeah, no, no. This is why I
exactly.
love doing these podcasts and these stories and comidasas because I've always had the model to highlight the dopest chefs that if you were to Google dope chefs in San Francisco, you and I wouldn't come up.
Oh yeah, of course.
But
Or
people
any of the other ones. Yeah,
but people in the streets would know it, right? So
yeah.
what was the was give us a funny answer of a screw up in the that you look back saying, shit, I can laugh. Then I'll tell you my screw up just so you don't feel bad.
Ah, man, you know what? At the beginning, because my summer was a hit. That's when people heard about me, and it was there, and I was getting nonstop orders, and that was like my first experience. I learned a lot about that. So, okay, for the summer, I want to say maybe the way I would like come out with the food, I guess I want to say, like, or even like my deep frieds, like the ones that were deep frieds. I guess like when I had not, it wasn't just one, it was in the beginning, but I had customers that would come and I would come out with my trays. But see, back then I was just learning to see how I would be able to um pack a corn to go and stuff. So I was like experimenting. So I would just have a tray and just have my corns there. And I just remember like by the time I would get outside to give it to the customer, well, there goes all the corn all over itself. The michelada is like overflowing, the ice is out, the mangoes are falling out. And I'm like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
this.
And don't give us numbers, but how long did it take for you to say, okay, this is a real business? A real business means profitability, right? Being
Mhm.
able to say, my time put into this is worth it. How long did it take?
With me, I want to say it took a month after I started.
That's badass. Congrats
A
on
month.
that.
But that's because honestly it was word of mouth.
Yeah.
And it's just networking, and I just knew a lot of people from my city already, that the minute that I just said, hey, I just started a business, I do corn on the cob, it went from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And this
Yeah,
business is different. It's food. You're not selling like,
yeah.
software. You're not selling technology or services. You're selling food, and people
Hmm.
got to eat every day. I think COVID pushed a lot of profitability in the food game because we
Hmm.
realized food is essential, it's
Yeah,
a necessity. Um,
yeah.
so where do you want to take this in? Where do you want to be in 2 years if you could do this?
Well, this here, I definitely want to grow with this. It's a little hard, but as at the moment in the next 2 years, I'm hoping that I could take this to a level where either I have a cloud kitchen
Yeah.
soon. I definitely want to either do a cloud kitchen, or I don't want to do like a taco truck or a food truck, but I want to do a cool little, maybe mobile, small little vehicle where I can like, just like the elote man or the ice cream man, but rather just be parked in certain streets, cities in the Bay Area, and people can just come and see me. And then I want to do catering as well with my food items. So I'm just trying to take it slowly but surely. Maybe in the next 2 years, I'll be able to have an actual spot where people can come in, and I'll have the hours, and I'll have people staff there, and I'll have people helping me, where like we can actually provide like a service, like a restaurant, or like whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part
Yeah,
about when I do these
yeah,
interviews. I always tell people, listen, you never know who's watching. It could be a potential investor.
exactly,
And
exactly.
that's what we got to look at it. But I like what you're doing. You want to scale your business, grow it
Yeah,
slow. Then you might want to look at, farmers markets, and be
exactly.
there. Number two, you should also look at restaurants that are closed 2 days out of the 7 days and just say, hey,
Hmm.
listen, give me a player price and I want to be here Sunday, Monday, or one day a
Yes,
week to close.
a lot
Listen,
of people been doing that.
Mission
Hmm.
Chinese food is my favorite Chinese joint in the Mission. And the guy started off by saying, hey, you're open 5 days a week. I'll rent those 2 days you're closed. Now that guy has his own restaurant here and in New York and a cookbook. You got to look him up.
Oh, badass.
Do your research on that, because that way you don't, from a
Yeah.
business standpoint, you don't lock into a 5-year lease, the 3-month deposit,
Yeah.
and then not only that, but buying the bike, the elote bike, a lowrider bike would be sick as fuck, but
Yeah.
it costs money. So for right now, what you got to do is grow the business, and then you go into that luxury, right? But that way you have
Right.
minimal liability, and that's what we're here for. It's not just an
It's
interview for your product, but it's like getting to know these stories, because that's what we're doing. We're supposed to support each other and create a
exactly.
movement. So let's go into some
That's
fun
dope.
questions. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, we're here for. Let's go to some questions.
Yeah, of course.
This is a hashtag like "get the molesta" in Spanish, but like your pet peeve in the business.
I guess would have to be the cleaning up part. The the cleaning up part. I try to do clean as I go, but it never really works. The cleaning up part, and also I think right now might be people have been pretty good, but there was a time where people were late to come do their pickups,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
would which was very, that was in the summer, I remember, because I remember that like I said, I love to give my food fresh. That's the purpose of it. And if you're ordering a michelada and like this deep fried or baked Parmesan corn on the cob, by the time you get here and you're 30 minutes or an hour late from your time slot that you're going to come to pick up, it's not going to be as satisfying as,
So tardiness is
yeah,
your pet peeve.
tardiness and cleaning up.
Yeah. Okay. Your pet peeve in society.
Whew.
This isn't just your food interview. That would be missing the opportunity on the wokeness that we are.
Right. My pet peeve in society, man. I think would have to be the misunderstanding of others, and not be and people, certain people just being so stuck in one way rather than like explore their horizons and step out of their comfort box. Like
Yeah.
not everything has to be this and this. Like you can break those cycles and it might even turn into something,
100%. I think that
Yeah.
that's what helps me cope with all the kind of drama I go to. The challenges every day is taking the time to understand people. Taking
Yeah.
to understand it. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make you like it or find a solution, but it helps you cope with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. The next question is: did you vote in this past election?
I did. I
Perfect.
did.
I always tell people I don't care who you voted for as long as you vote,
I
because
did.
we are business minded, we are passionate, we share
Mhm.
culture, and we're also contributors to society. I hate
Exactly.
when people say, "What
Exactly.
are they doing for Latinos?" I'm like, they'll do something for Latinos when we show that we're ready to play too, right? So if you don't vote, you can't complain.
Periodo. Period.
Mhm.
Period. Period. Preach that.
Yep. All right. Next question.
Yeah.
The world is ending. Your last meal on Earth, what would it be?
Whoo! How you gonna tell me that? You can't even tell me that. Oh my gosh. I'm such a big foodie. You have no idea. I have driven to LA for the weekend just to go eat food over there. Um, I go everywhere just to eat. It's crazy. I guess I would have to say I always play this game too with my friends. Um, I guess I would have to pick, just because I am a big seafood eater. I might have to do a shrimp Alfredo pasta.
Got it.
Honestly,
Got it. It's filling and creamy and everything.
everything, all the carbs.
How much time do you spend marketing your business? Let's talk a little business.
Okay, for marketing, I want to say almost every day. Every
Like,
day,
you
my
set
brain
an hour?
doesn't stop. My
Mhm.
brain doesn't stop. I could be, I could have or a time phase just to work on my on that part. But even when I'm not working on that part throughout my day, I'm just thinking about what's my next move, how I'm gonna promote that, what's my marketing. It's become like it's literally become like if I wake up and brush my teeth. So it's
Yeah.
every day. Yeah,
It,
I'm working without noticing that I'm working.
I'm glad you're saying that, because the
Yeah,
business has to have a combination of the actual product and the
yeah,
market of it. You're gonna have
exactly,
that's why the mom and pop restaurants, they could be doing better if they focus on social media and marketing.
exactly.
And like you go to a good place who's been around for 20 years, like let's just say certain taquerias, right, in the Bay.
Yeah,
It's banging, but you look on Yelp, they got like 14 reviews, right? And so you
yeah,
got to have people encouraged, say, hey, we have 1,000 people coming in a week. give me something if I put a review, because that's just the marketing that you're doing with the business.
Right.
That you're thinking about that, right? Okay.
Exactly.
You say you're a foodie. Who's 3 chefs you admire?
Ooh. Okay. I'm a big, damn, that's so crazy. I'm a big, oh my God, how did I just forget his name? I'm a big fan of the British guy, the British chef. What's his name?
Gordon Ramsay.
Ramsey is one of my favorites just because I see how he is with food and I think that's passion.
Yeah.
That's passion, my friend. Um, I really do like, damn, I really I follow them on YouTube. I'm just not really good with the names, but I also like the that chef. He's like this Asian guy. I'm sorry, this Asian guy, and he goes all over like LA and like everywhere, and he just comes and tastes their food. I just can't remember on top of my head who it was.
Eddie Wong.
Uh, yes,
He's
I
bad.
think that
He's
dude. Yes, that guy goes hard, and his story,
yeah, yeah. Wong's World. Eddie Wong. Shout out to
yeah.
Eddie Wong. We'll have to tag him on this.
Woo.
Hmm.
And then I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if you heard about this guy just because I think he's an inspiration in the Bay Area, but it's Al Pastor Papi. Have you heard of him?
I haven't. I've heard of him, but I haven't met him. So I gotta go connect. I gotta go check out his food.
Dude, his tortas al pastor. He's like El Pastor King, and his story is insane. Like he literally the same thing. He never knew he was gonna be like the torta king of the Bay Area, and he started off just messing with food, and now his food truck is all over. He went to Mexico just to study the meats like El Pastor and stuff. He had, all of that. And now he's like does it all. It's crazy.
So you mentioned Eddie Wong, Gordon Ramsay, and Al Pastor Papi. That's dope. Okay.
Yeah.
So last question. Person dead or alive.
Oh,
Up to three people. Up to three people. Who would
dang.
you like to have dinner with one last night?
Oh,
3 people, dinner. You're not cooking. You're gonna get whatever it is you want, but you got 3 people that you want to
damn,
conversate
that's a hard
with.
one. All right, that's a hard one. Dang. You know what? It's gonna have to be. How you gonna ask me that? um, it would have to be Nipsey Hussle
Okay.
for sure. I would have to have Nipsey on here. My brother that passed away, Junior. He goes by Juna Glow. And then rest in peace. And then one more you said dead or alive, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm naming all. Okay, okay. And then the
No,
last one,
give me some spirit. Give some spirit.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna give you one. And then the last one would probably be alive. Damn, there's so many people. I think I would do. Oh my god, this is crazy. I don't even know right now. I guess I would do. Oh my god, this is hard. I'm sure you had your people thinking like this, huh?
Oh
Like,
yeah, exactly. Throw my guard.
because now you're making me think like, damn, who would I have? Um, oh my god. I don't, you know what? Alive, I think I would have to just go with um well, shit, I feel like all the legends passed away, but they don't have to be big. They could be just people around here. I guess I would just say my mom for now because I can't even think. I
I
was
think
like, wait, who?
I think your mom would have a great time talking to Nipsey. Like, hey Nipsey, how you doing?
She'd be like, who? ¿Quién es este? ¿Quién
Yeah,
es este?
exactly. No, listen,
Yeah.
that's all dope. And I want to thank you for being on this interview. It's
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
highlighting dope stories. I look forward to collaborating
Hmm.
and putting the Bay on the map. I've always said it can't be 1 or 2 people. It's got to be a movement. It's got to be hundreds of things.
Exactly.
So count on us on that. Thank you for your time. We're gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
make sure that all our viewers get your information, order it, and keep on the hustle. We'll have you again on in 2 months to see the progress post COVID,
Oh yeah, definitely.
where you're doing
Definitely.
because everything you said you want to do, get it. It's now I'm gonna go back to it and say, Rosario, how is this going? You know,
Damn. Yeah, no.
this isn't
That's
just
crazy. This is
interview,
dope.
it's accountability. You know,
That's dope. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for having me.
no doubt. Be good, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye. Ooh, ooh.